I want to be Mr. Olympian one day. I won't let anything stop me from accomplishing this goal. I've been training for this competition every moment of my entire life. No sports on the earth requires as much time, energy, and commitment. 24 hours a day. There's no days off, there's no missing meals, there's no missing sleep, there's no missing workouts.
What's up, guys? Poll day! Optimal for the pre. You guys know the fucking drill. What's going on? We got poll today. We're back. I am fucking exhausted. I start my new job tomorrow doing HVAC. So after this lift, I'm going straight the fuck to bed. But we're gonna hit a fucking optimal little back and by day for you. We're gonna start off the day simple. We're gonna do Keenan flaps. After Keenan flaps, we'll probably do V-bar lat pull down, move into a lat pullover, and then we'll finish off with pull-ups. I don't plan on doing any rows today. I want to mostly work upper back and lats today because my lower back kind of feels like shit from legs. And then for biceps today, we're going to do incline curls, Bayesian curls, Monday curls, and then something for the brachialis. We'll either do preacher hammer curls or just regular hammer curls. So we're going to hop right into these Keenan flaps. On all of my days, I switch up and I switch different lifts and movements around, and I haven't done Keenan flaps in a few weeks, so these are gonna feel nice. I'm very excited. It's a top tier optimal back movement. I don't think they can see you, Jair. You'd have to scoot in. All right. We gotta tighten these cuffs here. Now, shitty brand endorsement on me because I don't have the Echo cuffs yet, but I did order them, so we should be getting those soon. But we do have the Echo D-ring lifting straps on because I prefer to have the feeling of a handle while I do these. Ooh. We're gonna start light, 50 pounds. We can probably go up. I haven't really warmed up, so we'll see where this moves. That's too light. We'll go 100. Alright, 12 reps isn't a terrible range, but I think we're going to have to up the weight more to get into a lower rep range. I'd like to be in the 8 to 10 for 0 RIR. Ooh. Good first set. Yeah, 120 for the second set. Should be a heavy enough rep range to keep me in a lower, or a heavy enough weight to keep me in a lower rep range. I'm trying to dial in all my training right now to be in the preferably 6 to 8. Most lifts are going to go to 8 to 10, just because if I'm really pushing failure, I want to make sure that I'm at that 1 to 0 RIR. So I usually give it a couple extra or do some length and partials, but we'll dial it in for Keenan flaps. We'll figure out what we need to be at. Ugh. Yeah, 10 for that on. So yeah, 120 is probably the best working weight for me at this movement. I feel like I can reach failure, so we'll do this set. Oh yeah, this arm, finish this set. We'll do one more and then we'll jump into some V-bar pull downs. All right, one more of them. All right, on to the final set, and I'm debating because I feel as right now with where I'm at, my rear delts are not overdeveloped, but highly developed. Like, as for the rest of my back, I think that they're very large and noticeable, and I don't know if I really want to continue to keep training rear delts every back day, and not give the rest of my back, my lats, upper, like traps and lower, I want to give that time to catch up. So I think if I do rear delts today, it's going to be only 2 sets of rear delt flies, but we'll see. I'm gonna leave it for the end of back, and I'll make the decision then. Ugh. Ooh. I hate when the setup for a movement, it's like heavier to set it up than it is to actually like do the movement. All right, now we're gonna do V-bar lat pull downs. Woo! Look at me being a little science teacher. Look at my child right there. Look at him learning his Keenan flaps. What a good boy Jair is. My bad. I'm sorry. He's telling me to shut up. He's being so mean to me. I am a good boy. I'm the goodest boy in all the land. Don't you forget it. I am the goodest boy in all the land. Okay. Yeah, so again, I'm just gonna up the weight a little bit for that. And then I don't know, that felt like a good set. Yeah, so jump from 125 to 140 for a minute. Trying to think, To put it into perspective, I am about 9 weeks. Nope. I am about 9 months, and I believe 11 weeks out from competing in my first bodybuilding show. Right now I am in a bit of I wouldn't say bulk, more of a recomp. I'm trying to just put on as much lean mass as possible right now, so I'm in like a slight bulk right now. I'm eating way above my daily protein intake of what was 200. I'm eating right now in the 280 to 300 gram range, and I'm only eating about 2,000 calories, which is still lower than my maintenance. So I feel like in the last few weeks I have put on some exponential size, and a lot of that I have to credit to my training. Since I've optimized my training, I feel like I've just put on mass, and it's going really well. And for those of you who have the same interest and plan on competing, obviously I haven't competed yet, but just do it, What's the worst that can happen? You lose? Okay. Now you have an understanding of the sport, You already have a show under your belt. It's a really good way to put yourself out there, because like for me, I have slightly over a year of training and maybe 6 months of proper training under my belt, and the only reason I'm jumping into competing so quickly is to not only give myself a bigger goal, and with that it'll raise your drive, but this is something that I really, really want, and I think it's the right decision to put myself in a position of failure for what I want, Because if I go into this first show coming dead last, I go into the next show so dialed and so motivated that all I can do is win. It's like Tom Platt said, man, the only place to go from failure is up. The only place you can be after failing is to succeed. And I take that to heart. So for those of you following my journey, I just want to say I really appreciate it. And to those out there who also have a heavy passion for bodybuilding, just know you're not going to get better unless you experiment. And that's what this first show is all about, is experimenting, seeing how I can improve and making as many corrections as possible to be the best natural bodybuilder that I can be. With that being said, let's jump into the second set. Alright, I'm gonna do one more of those. I think it goes a lot farther than lifting when I say this, but to anyone who has any dream or aspiration, the only way that you will achieve it is by trying. You need to fail to succeed. And the only way to learn is through failing. Everyone looks at failure as this, end all be all terrible thing. But put it into perspective. If Mike Mentzer had lost, let's say Mike Mentzer never retired when he did. He lost the Mr. Olympia to Arnold, super controversial win, which Mike should have won, but because it was, such a terrible call and it was pretty political, he retired. And regardless of his training techniques and his habits, he was genuinely one of the greatest bodybuilders of all time. And he would have easily won the Olympia had he, had there not been any favoritism back then. He was the first person to ever score 300. He had a perfect physique. And with bodybuilding, I think that's, depending on what you compete in, for, classic physique guys like me, that's the goal. You want to have the perfect proportions. And for someone like Mike Mentzer to have that and retire at the top of his game because of a bullshit, competition, it really shows how much goes into this mentally. Obviously, physically, it's, a lot. You're putting your body through hell in order to, look as perfect as you can. But failure is truly both the scariest and most exciting thing that I've ever felt. I am so scared for my first contest. Competing for the first time, getting on stage, I'm going to be terrified. But that being said, I really, really am excited to fail, because then I can switch everything around and just really learn from it. And that's all I'm trying to say is you got to learn from your mistakes and improve. You just gotta push forward, and that's all we can do as humans. Nobody's perfect, but bodybuilding is a sport in where you try to be as perfect as possible, and I will achieve that. And that's the mindset that you guys got to have too. If you have the same plan, you have to tell yourself that you are going to succeed, because if you go into it, I'm looking at it in two ways. I know I'm gonna fail, but that's initially. Long run, I'll be successful. And that's how you guys should be looking at your own journey. I think with my training, there's still a lot of improvement that needs to be made, but right now I am training so optimally that I'm making more progress weekly than I thought I ever could. So the more you tweak your own regimens, the better you'll become. And with that, you build more character. To be the best you need to fail, and you need to try again. And no matter how many times you fail, you need to keep trying. The sport that I chose is like, it's a beauty pageant, dog. But I want it more than anything I can imagine. So I'm going to dedicate every day to becoming the greatest bodybuilder of all time. Enough yapping. Let's get into this set. All right, let's move on to lat pullovers. I don't know what we're gonna put for weight here. I warmed up with 60 and it felt really, really light, so I'm gonna put it to 90, see how it moves, and then we might go up. But first set, we'll just do 90 pounds, then we'll go from there. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. The weight felt good there. I think I have to lower it down one peg so my arms go further back, rather than higher up. It's just so I can stretch the lat more. And then I think instead of 90 pounds, we're just gonna do 100, because I think I got that for 10, maybe 12. I don't know. I lost count. But yeah, we're gonna adjust. Small adjustments, small adjustments. So we lowered it down 2 pegs. Twas here, no, twas here, twas here. And then the next peg would have been here, but we moved it down to here. So now when I go back, it'll stretch my lat further rather than just having my hand up higher. Because top of the movement there, less work was being done on the muscle. Let's just say that. Whew. Let's see how 100 moves on the adjusted settings. Yeah, see, here I am a lot more stretched out. Although, you know what, we'll try her out. I feel as if I move the seat, if I move this bench further out, I'll get more of a stretch, but I think it'll hit I think the cable stack will hit the top of the machine here, so let's maybe not do that. I'll have to, after this set, I'll review the footage. I'll see how close I am to the top, and then I'll see if I'll be able to actually move that. All right, well, with the form being good on that, I am feeling my lat plenty. So I think we're just going to keep it here for the last set. And then I'm going to go up another 10 pounds. With Jair being here earlier, this lift feels a lot longer than usual, especially for just a pull day. So depending on how this last set feels, I think, yeah, you know what, yeah, because I don't want to over fatigue myself, because that would be stupid. I'm going to do this last set here. We're going to go a little heavier actually too. I'll do this last set to fail, and then I will do rear delt flies. For time's sake, I'm only going to record one set of the rear delt flies, but I'm going to do 2 sets. And then we will jump into biceps. And I think for biceps, we are going to primarily focus just the long head of the bicep today. Brachialis training. I mean, I don't know. I think my brachialis looks okay. The lighting's really good right here. Probably not as good on camera. But we're going to ignore the brachialis training for today, which I shouldn't do. But for time's sake, I'm going to. I need to be up really early tomorrow. So I need to go home and eat, shower, and go to bed. But we are going to just do incline curl, Bayesian curls, and Monday curls, and then we'll pose down. So I'm going to go take a piss, and then we will hop into it. All right. So this will be the heaviest set of these that I think I've ever done. We'll see how it moves. Also, with these, I kind of do it a little strange. Obviously, it's not like a machine, so I can't, what I do is I kind of like want the outside of my hand on the bar more than the rest of my hand, because I feel like I stretch my lat better like this than this, at least with the way I have it set up. So just for anyone who's kind of questioning my hand placement. Come on. Okay, we're gonna do rear delts. I think honestly for my next pull day, I'm gonna go even heavier than that because I still just got 12. So I guess I'm just, super strong. This right here, rear delt flies with the echo cuffs. It's so incredible. It's honestly very quickly become one of my favorite uses of the echo cuffs. So we're gonna put that to use. Go 40 for this first set. All right, so we're looking at one more of those for me, but biceps for y'all. Alrighty, for those of you unaware, and I believe that would be everybody because I haven't spoke on this, I do believe I'm suffering through a elbow injury right now. I believe I hyperextended my right elbow because when I go any further than this, it hurts. Even when I flex my right bicep, it hurts. So if the reps look sloppy, my dearest apologies. But as of late, especially on my arm days, I've been pushing it. And with that, I've upped my weight on about every arm movement. And rather than using the 20s for my incline curls like I was about a month ago, I was using the 25s. And I don't know what happened. I literally slept over Dean's house. I woke up and my fucking elbow hurt, and I hit, I think, chest and back with Dean. So there should be no reason, unless I did it during some sort of push movement. But I don't know how I hurt my elbow. it hurts a little. It hurt really bad yesterday and the day before. Feels pretty good today. But I think by Bayesian curls, it's gonna hurt. Anywho, yeah, we're gonna finish up the day with these incline curls for 3 sets, Monday curls for most likely 2 sets, and then Bayesian curls we're gonna bang out for 3. All right, 2 more. Final set for incline curls. I might only get 10 here. Yeah, we're only getting 10 there. There we go. Whew. This is a top tier bicep movement. I don't care what anybody says. That last rep didn't count. I did 11 on the left arm and 10 on the right. Now my muscles are gonna grow uneven. Yeah, these are an absolute killer for the buys. All right, now we're gonna do Bayesian. Now, for those of you either checking out this channel from my TikTok, or those of you who just follow me on TikTok, you would know from, I didn't mean to do that. You would know from my optimal review I thought my headlights were on. You would know from the review I did on TikTok for Optimal that I do my Bayesian curls a little different. Rather than using a typical D handle, I use the Echo cuffs for Bayesian curls, and I'm going to show you fine young people, you beautiful souls, how we do that. So, all you want to do, it's a really easy setup. You want the D-ring to be on the back of your arm. You're going to clip in. You want to use the strap so you have something to hold. You want to wrap the strap around your hand. Very simple. Very simple. I promise you, this is not a difficult movement, nor is it difficult to set up. The only part that is hard to set up is getting the second strap clipped in, because I do these double arm rather than single. But you could just do them single, or if you're not by yourself and working out all lonely like me, have a buddy help you out, you know? Now, we don't have too much weight on this. I have it set at 30 pounds, so not a lot of weight at all, but it's enough weight, that's for sure. I'm stuck. Okay. We will do 2 more of those. I feel good. And because, I'll be honest, the elbow doesn't hurt too bad, but I want to be cautious, so I think I'm going to sacrifice a set. I know. I should do all 3, but I'm a blue-collar guy about to start my blue-collar job. The last thing I need. I can't do that. Don't ever let me do that again. Oh my God. I don't want to get injured. That's the point I'm trying to make. Oh my God. I just like gagged. Oh, fuck. God, that fucking hurt. Oh. I almost puked coughing. Gross. Ugh. Get the carabiner on. Oh, we're locked. All right, so final set of the day here. We're gonna make it a good one. Okay. Okay. That is going to be all for the lift. Let's go pose. Alrighty. Let's run through a couple of poses here. First things first, some of you may have noticed in the video. Peep this fucking compression shirt, echovision.com. Caden __ lifts 10% off at Echovision, or you could go to my TikTok, buy it in my shop link. I will leave a link to both in the description of this video. And again, I really appreciate you guys for supporting me throughout my journey and supporting me through using my code on these websites. I really do appreciate it. I'd also like to shout out Echovision, such an incredible brand. I use all of their products, equipment, clothing, supplements. Genuinely, it's such an honor to work with a company such as Echovision. Anyways, let's get a few poses with the compression shirt, couple without, you know, I got an Echo beater on underneath, greatest wife beater you could wear. But yeah, let's run through a couple. Take the beat of the compression off. I don't think I hit a front double by. I don't know why I didn't hit a front double by. Oh my god, holy cramp. I can't move my thumb. Let's try that again. Fuck me, that hurt. Wow. There we go. Okay. Well, I'm gonna call it. But again, truly and genuinely, I appreciate every one of you for watching this video. You guys mean the absolute world to me. And if this video could even just motivate one person to get out there and follow their dreams, that's all I ask. Just one person. So, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. But again, I appreciate you guys for watching. Check out all of my other socials, link in description. Caden __ lifts 10 for 10% off all Echovision products. I hope you all have a blessed week. Take care.